Greetings, friends. So grateful to be with all of you again. What an amazing journey we're on. Wow. At our last full cohort meeting, I brought the imagination of a garden, right? How our work with applying anthroposophy, we are cultivating the garden of our soul, which gives us the grace to co-create and nurture a universal sanctuary where true freedom based on love can thrive. And yeah, we're in the Advent garden now, refining ourselves in an inner festival of light. And that the image of the chalice that Verlin shared has been living deeply in me. So yeah, may we keep it polished, right? And fill it with wisdom. The cup of Mary. Actually, today's the feast of the Immaculate Conception of Mary. So I love how these things all come together. And yeah, after the time of labor in the season of midwinter, we let the physical fields rest and our inner work crests. And we can gather renewing forces by cultivating warmth of soul. We've done so much of that together, haven't we? And many cultures have a tradition of cultivating warmth of soul by practicing the social artistry of storytelling at this time of year. During the Holy Nights, Rudolf Steiner often brought stories like the Bhagavad Gita and the Epic of Gilgamesh, which we will get to explore this year with the Anthroposophical Society, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And a few times, Steiner brought the dream song of Olaf Åstersson, with Marie Steiner von Sievers reciting the ancient Norwegian folk song, a true initiatory tale. Olaf, whose name means son of earth, experiences the mysteries of the cosmos during the 13 Holy Nights, an initiation into the great secrets of existence. And during our time of the consciousness soul, we cannot lay so long a-sleeping, right? We must approach these holy nights, which are outside of space, opening us to eternal time so that we can meet what shaped us in the past and what is calling us from the future. It's a quest, asking us, what will we cultivate in 2022? In our garden of 2022, what will we cultivate? We could think about this through each of the upcoming 12 months of the year. So that just like Olaf, we can awaken to become true sons and daughters of Earth, fortified by the cosmic forces to help us meet our highest destiny. Steiner also told the story of Joan of Arc during the Holy Nights, describing how this Michaelic warrior underwent an inner initiation before her birth on Epiphany. And our branch took up that theme last year. But maybe you're wondering, where did this tradition of the 12 days of Christmas come from? Well, Olaf's tale dates from around 400 AD, but we have to remember that way before that, the ancients worked with a lunar calendar, which is 12 days shorter than our modern solar calendar. And these, dear friends, are the Holy Nights, which start every evening at sunset and really represent a shift in human consciousness from moon karma to sun karma. So these 12 holy nights with one hidden holy night on New Year's Eve We know they come at the heart of winter. When the visible sun, it's at its lowest point. But when the spiritual sun within the earth is at its most powerful, our spiritual sun, this is the archetype of our heart. And it appears like darkness until we make it radiant. And to help us in this great work, there comes into this an alignment, a deep interconnection between the sun, the earth, and the constellations of the zodiac. So each of the 12 days and 13 nights, from the eve of the sacred birth to the eve of Epiphany, allows us to approach the sublime gesture of the divine spiritual beings of the hierarchies, right? Those angelic realms whose outer garments are the constellations of the zodiac and whose essence actually live in our physical human body, from the tip of our little toe to the top of our heads. And as Verlin mentioned, at Advent, the hierarchies step back, leaving us free to build the chalice, to do the work of adjustment, to meet the trial of solitude. And then, after the birth of the light at the winter solstice, we have to call them back out of our own initiative. This sacred time out of time also provides an opportunity to contemplate the great journey of the cosmic Christ through the zodiac into the body of the Luke Jesus. Now, really, just picture this. I mean, this is what we get to live into, this being of the Trinity, this part of the Godhead, the Son of the Godhead, has a mission. It's coming down to earth. But it's not just like, oh, it's happening. There's a process that has to occur. This being has to come through each one of these, not only the planetary spheres, but each one of the zodiac, right? So this being enters into each one of these realms and leaves an imprint there. And this is what we can tune into during the holy nights. My face is flushing just thinking about it. It's so beautiful and sublime. And we can also see this path as the path from Jesus to Christ. And this, my friends, this is the evolution of every human being. Every human being as a star unfolding in an earthly biography. So the 12 apostles, they formed this outer version of these constellations, right? We have this as above, so below, this macro microcosm thing happening that we get to live into. Yeah, we all incarnate into these various signs on our way to becoming spirit once again. Now, perhaps you've heard this term, the anthroposophical bathtub, right? Well, we see a little picture of this here. And this concept is exemplified in what Steiner calls the Michael revelation. The word becomes flesh, and the flesh becomes spirit. And the turning point of time reveals our mission as human beings to consciously return to spirit. So with these concepts in mind, some folks like to work with the Holy Nights, looking at the various cultural epochs. Our friend Brian Gray is great at that. So yeah, the Holy Nights begin on Christmas Eve with what is called the Feast of Adam and Eve. So Christmas Eve is the Feast of Adam and Eve. I remember when I was a young Waldorf mom, and they would do the Oberhofer plays and they do the Paradise play. And I was always just like, what? Why are they talking about the expulsion from paradise at Christmas? Friends, it is a remembering that fall was the reason that the Christ being, the Logos, the Word, made the sacrificial journey from the Godhead to become the Son of Man. This is the reason for the season, right? As they say. And so, yeah, it starts on Christmas Eve. The eve is always a powerful time in the mysteries. It's a powerful time for the holy days. It's always the eve that has the power. And then they are completed on Epiphany, the eve of Epiphany. This is Three Kings Day and the event of the baptism. Right? This is when that Christ being actually entered into the human realm, when the Son of God entered human form. So we have this picture of the Son of Earth, the Son of Man, the Son of God. So when we look at the circle of the zodiac during the holy nights, yeah, we find imprinted there a memory of that significant tract, a kind of like it's a recapitulation. It's a rukshao, not only of the cosmic Christ, but of our life as cosmic beings becoming human. And we can contemplate and review our own present solar year, right? Think about what happened in 2021. And then looking forward also to the new year. And for me, I'm called to follow Anthroposophy, working to spiritualize matter, just like the butterfly. And like the biodynamic farmers who sing spirit to matter, matter to spirit, spirit to matter, matter to spirit. When they're doing the prep stir, this is something we do. Right. So if we're going to live into the Michael revelation, like Sianda said, we can start where we are with our feet on the ground. And that's the constellation of Pisces. Pisces represents the feet. And once we feel our humanness, try to live into our humanness, then we can begin to traverse this return path that leads from the feet to that beautiful dome of the head. Right? So through the 12 signs of the zodiac, we make this conscious union with the whole world of the hierarchies, all the way up to unite with the mystic lamb at Epiphany. And this book by Sergei Prokofiev is a wonderfully concise working of this path. And sure, there's all kinds of protocols out there, what you can do for the holy nights. But friends, trust that you know what you need. Empower your will by letting the impulse come not from outside, not from some expert. Trust that you are the expert. Trust that the impulse can come from within. So what would it be like to pay attention to your dream life, like Olaf? And I also like to create a theme for the year. Something I'm going to focus on, make a goal. Often I take up a new spiritual practice and I keep it going for the whole time, the whole year. And it helps to form questions, which we can check in with all year long. And yes, there are many, 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 many indications that you can work with. You can keep it really simple. You could pick one thing that calls to you. And so, friends, as a sort of parting gift here, I've made some detailed slides like I like to do. It really helps me. I'm calling this my Holy Nights flashcards. So I'm going to bring you the Holy Nights flashcards, and this will give you an overview of, a bunch of attributes that you can choose to work with, which, we don't have time to go into now, but you can review these on the recording, if you want, and then maybe that will help you make your own personal plan. So we can talk about lots of different things, and maybe you can let me know something that you came up with that I didn't think of, because I'm sure there's plenty. Sometimes people like to think about the constellation of the day, right? Like I mentioned, starting with Pisces. one year, I worked with the rhythm of the foundation stone meditation, and I worked with that. Actually, I extended it. I did it for 2 years. It was so powerful. And then you'll see that each one of these holy nights, just like pretty much every day, there's a feast of some saint. So maybe you want to do some storytelling of your own and look into what the story of the saint of the day is. Or maybe you want to find out more about the different angelic realms, right? All of these amazing beings, make friends with them, right? Or maybe you want to explore the 12 senses. Or there's the 12 points of view, right? The 12 world views. And my favorite, I love to work with the 12 virtues. Really a powerful, powerful thing to do. And then, of course, when we come to New Year's Eve, that hidden holy night, very, very special time. Steiner gave many indications for New Year's Eve. And he talks about how in our meditation, we can really use this cognitive imagination to picture looking through the earth, just to make the earth invisible, to see through the earth, to see the core of the earth as a sun. Right? This is the true evolution that we're going for, to make the earth a sacred planet, to make it a sun. So he gives this image of viewing the sun at midnight. And this is a wonderful verse to work with. In Chicago, we always have a conscious New Year's Eve gathering, and there's usually a theme for the year. This year it's going to be cabaret. But we often work with this verse, or we work with this 10-10, we call it the 10-10 thought seed imagination. So we think of this, we bring up this picture of the earth as a sun and every human being a star. So I'll just share this verse. Behold the sun at the midnight hour. Build with stones in the lifeless ground, thus in decay and in the night of death, find the creation's new beginning. Young morning strength, glory in the heights, the eternal word of God's. Shelter in the depths, the powers of peace. In darkness dwelling, create a sun. In matter weaving, know the joy of spirit. So maybe instead of having that glass of champagne at midnight, maybe you'll take this verse out and work with this a little bit. And so now back to our flashcards. Maybe you want to work with the eurythmy gesture of the day, or the one that Sienna brought for us. That, yeah, oh, so powerful, right? To really live into that. Or there's a color of the day, there's a musical tone of the day. Maybe you're a musician or an artist. Or maybe you want to paint the zodiac images. Many people do that. They're so powerful to work with in that way, to live into those beings. Or yeah, maybe you want to make a dream journal. Or maybe you want to do something more active. Maybe you want to take a contemplative hike out into nature. Right? There's so much that you can do, but don't get overwhelmed. I know there's a list of things here, and I'm sure, like I said, you could add to this list. But what calls to you? What is it that moves you to be who you are, your best and truest and highest self? So in essence, dear friends, this time of year provides a key that opens us to the influences in the spiritual realms that we can trace in the events in our lives, in which our destiny is hidden. We can uncover the the golden threads that connect us to each other, as well as to the goals of Earth evolution and to the divine spiritual nature that comes to birth at this darkest time. And so, however you choose to mark these holy nights, know that you're also invited to join the Anthroposophical Society in America for a daily storytelling of the ancient Sumerian saga, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. You know, Rudolf Steiner explored this story during the Holy Nights of 1910. And again, during those fateful Holy Nights of the Christmas Conference in 1923 for the refounding of the society. So, friends, we are just 2 years out from the 100-year anniversary of the Christmas Conference. So this gathering is a laying of the groundwork that we can live into and begin to receive this powerful impulse. So this epic is it's the human journey. It's the hero's journey of human evolution. It's a story of friendship and a quest for the meaning of life. You know, it opens us up to the powerful archetypes behind the human condition, revealing clues about ourselves in the past, the present, and the future. And it also reveals Rudolf Steiner's core mission of bringing karma and reincarnation to the West. So, yeah. What will we uncover about ourselves and each other during this year's Holy Nights adventure? We're all part of the story. So may our once upon a time be never ending. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hazel. That was amazing.